Hi Flosstube, good morning. It is Saturday, February 5th. I'm Jennifer and welcome to Stitching with the Waves, my channel about cross stitch and quilting and whatever other crafts we've been doing lately. It has been about a month, I think, since my last video. I actually tried to record this video in the car earlier this week so I could show you my January progress on all my projects and the goals that I met for the month, but it was a disaster. I was sitting in the driveway of my daughter's clarinet teacher while she was having her lesson, and like the instructor's husband got home while I was working trying to record the video, and oh, here's my kitty. She's gonna come, she comes close enough, I'll pick her up and show her to you. She's talkative this morning, which is unusual. So yeah, her husband got home and he's like sitting in his car in the driveway next to me for a little while. I'm like, is he watching me? What is he doing? Nope, there she goes. She's playful this morning. And then he like put the garage door up. He's working in the garage, doing stuff in there. I was like, what is he doing? Is he gonna go outside? I can't film sitting in my car with somebody watching me. This is so weird. And so it was just, the angle was bad. The lighting was bad because of the time of day. It's still not very light here in the evenings. So I watched it back a little bit when I got home, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try again super early Saturday morning, get up before anyone else does, and see if I can get this video recorded. So here we go. Hopefully the lighting is a lot better for you. I had my birthday last month and I told my husband the present that I wanted was new lighting in here. It's a dining room usually. We only use it as a dining room once or twice a year, so the rest of the time it's my sewing room. My sewing machine is just to my right over here, and you know, just on the table we always have all sorts of crafts. Both of my kids have their diamond printing projects out on the other side of the table right now, and I have the other side and it's just covered in my quilting and other crafts all the time. So we need kitchen level task lighting so that I can actually see what I'm doing in here, because in the winter after dinner I really can't do any quilting in here at all. I can't do any sewing. It's just too dark. And you know, I've tried to set up different lamps and things like that to make it doable, and I just thought, you know what, that's what I want for my present this year. So we added in 4 LED recessed lights, and hopefully you can tell the difference. It looks super bright on my video camera screen, so hopefully that's gonna translate. It always looks really different when I get my video uploaded to my computer. My camera is 12 years old at this point, and the screen is super tiny, and not, you know, a very high quality screen, so the lighting always looks really different, and you know, it usually looks much better once I get it uploaded onto the computer and can see what the colors look like and everything like that. She's back again, but I don't know. Not sure what she wants from me. Maybe just to go snuggle on the couch and pet her. That's usually what we're doing at this hour of the morning. All right, let's jump into some cross stitch. So I'm going to show you all of the whips I've been working on in January. And I had set a monthly goal of working on each project for 3 days. And I kind of have different categories. Once I finish a project in that category, I'll start a new one. So the first project I have was just a finish. I'm trying to remember when I finished this. So I think it might actually have been, no, I didn't. It must have been since my last video. I don't know. When did I finish it? I didn't think I had stitched on this in January, but then I would have shown it to you. Didn't I have a January video? I thought I did. Maybe I filmed in December. This is The Great Gatsby from Stitching Book Club by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, and it is just a beautiful Art Deco piece. Absolutely love it. Let me make sure it's focused. Get my face out of the way. Pan up for you. This is stitched on 40 count shadow linen. I got it from 123 Stitch, and I'm trying to remember the brand of fabric, the dyer, and I picture this plus, but I'm not certain on that. It's a great black with the like charcoal gray modeling, so it was okay for me to see. I had gotten this piece. You can see I cut a piece off the edge over here and stitched something else on it a while ago, and then this was the piece I had left, which was a great size to stitch this on, and I'm happy this fabric is over. This piece 100% needed to be stitched on black. It is gorgeous on black, but stitching on black is just hard. so my eyes just really struggle with it. So I'm glad this fabric is gone and I don't have any more of it. I did it, I stitched on it, it's done. I did do, so you can see right here, a small specialty stitch there, and I added a small little specialty stitch down in these turquoise stitches down there as well. That was, I think, the only changes I made. I used all the called for DMC colors, and I do need to tighten up a few of these long stitches here. I need to get this FFO'd soon so that you know, all those long stitches stay in good shape. Okay, so my next piece was, excuse me, I have early morning scratchy voice. My next piece is a start and a finish. It is in my winter category, or seasonal category for stitching, which I'm currently working on winter, and I completed a series. So on my birthday last month, I had a fun day because we had a snow day. It was a big snowstorm that canceled school, so I didn't have to go to work. And I just thought, you know what, it's my birthday and I'm gonna sit on the sofa, I'm gonna start this project and see if I can get it done. And just stitch all day. I'm not gonna worry about chores or doing anything else because it's my birthday and I'm just gonna relax. So that was great. So not only did I finish the piece, but I also meant I finished the series. It was from the drawn thread, it's the spot of. So they have the spot of spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I've been stitching those as mainly my car travel stitching pieces over the last year in 2021. So I just thought I'd show you all of them real quick. I did go to the store and get some fabrics for finishing a couple of them, so I'll show you those as well. So this is Spot of Spring. I have this kind of aqua blue green floral. I don't think it's focused. Okay, there it's focused. So it says blue green floral, and then here is the piece. The thing I love about the drawn thread patterns is the specialty stitches that they include with it in each piece. And then in each piece I also have a little spot left where they had a charm. I stitched all my pieces on 40 count, and I didn't write down all of them. This one, I believe, is one that I dyed myself. I just very quickly flashed it in some dye with Rit dye, taupe, and pearl gray mixed together, just very, very fast, just to get a little bit of color on it. And in this one, I'm trying to see where the specialty stitches are in this one, and you know, this one might have less. So the little pink flowers over here are some, I don't remember the name, there's some sort of specialty stitch, I'm not sure. Well, you can see that. And I thought there was something else in this one. There's a bunch of little French knots in this one on the sheep and the bunnies. But I guess that's about it for this one. Some of the others have a lot more specialty stitching on them. This is Spot of Summer. We've got this like dusty blue floral fabric. Here's this. I used pretty much the called for DMCs, and then each pattern also had one or two overdyed threads that they used. And so I just went through my collection to find something that would work. So the sun has got some specialty stitching in it, and it's one of the overdyed threads, and the bee's wings down here are satin stitches down the bottom. So super cute one. And then this is Spot of Autumn, or Spot of Fall. I forget if it's called autumn or fall. The leaves, oop, bumped the camera. The leaves in here are Classic Colorworks Fallen Leaves. And that's the specialty thread in this one. And then the acorn up here at the top, this acorn is specialty stitches along with the yellow gourds on this side. And then down here, these little burgundy flowers were supposed to be Lazy Daisy stitches, but since I'm stitching on 40 count, the Lazy Daisies they just look messy. I didn't like it, so I ended up just doing some little straight stitches instead of trying to Lazy Daisies on that. And then this is my start and finish for my birthday. Spot of Winter. And again, I just picked out a couple of specialty fancy floss from my collection to substitute for the colors. And specialty stitches in this one, they have the eyelets up at the top. and these white islets up here at the top, and then this row of trees down there. So there we go, that series is completed. My plan for those is probably to turn them into little pin cushions, but I might instead finish them, put them on mat board with a little hanger, so it's sort of an ornament, but one that I could hang on like the knob of a china cabinet throughout the year and change them out. I haven't 100% decided yet. I need to find fabric for winter and fall, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with those. All right, so those are my two finishes. And then now I'm going to show you my WIP. So I'll show you the monthly progress that I had on each of my categories that I've been working on. So the first one is my really big project, my big amazing project. I heard Robin from Lady Robins use that term instead of the other one we all know, and I thought that would be a good one for me to use. I've got my kids popping in here half the time or listening in, so I like the big amazing project term a lot better. So my big amazing project is 101 alphabets from Rosewood Manor, and the stitch count is 499 by 499, so it's not full coverage, but it is definitely my biggest project, and it's going to take me years to finish, so it is my big amazing project. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Beach Brew from R&R. I'm doing my own color conversion, so I want it to be very blue when I'm done with it, so I just pick up whatever shade of blue, whether it's a DMC or an overdyed thread, whatever. I just, out of what I have in my collection, I just decide as I'm starting a motif what I want to use. So this is where I am at. Let me see if I can get it far enough back. This is where I'm at right now. Hopefully you can see the whole thing because I can't see the camera right now around it. So let me come over here and see if we can kind of pan through it. There we go. So let's see, so right about here is halfway through. I'm about there. What I stitched on over the past month, I was about halfway through this alphabet here. This one here. I just had the bottom of that alphabet to finish. So pretty much everything, let's see, if I put this on the screen, that's pretty much what I stitched in January. So I stitched my 3 days for my monthly goal. Let me just fold it. This is about what I did in January. There we go, that's easier to see. I stitched on my 3 days for the monthly goal. And then when I was done stitching on all of my projects and had completed all of my monthly days, I downloaded that Tiny Decisions app and made a wheel and put all my WIPs in there, spun it to see which one I should use as a focus project for January. I just couldn't decide. I really enjoyed working on all of my projects in January as I was stitching on them, and I couldn't decide which one to go back to. So I loved using the Tiny Decisions wheel. It was my first time trying it out, and I am super happy to have gotten so much progress on this in January. So during my monthly days, I got a page finish on page 6, and then during the focus time, I finished page 7. So that is super exciting. Over here, this farthest out motif is almost halfway through page 8. So I've got the rest of page 8, and then page 9 is a partial page, and I'll be at the edge. So I am super close to making it all the way across one row of pages in this pattern, which is really exciting. I'm really glad the wheel picked this project for January because it was great to start the year off with so much progress on this piece. That was just, you know, it seems like it goes so slowly when I'm only picking it up a little bit, and I had several months last year where I didn't pick it up at all. So it was great to just sit down and spend a lot of really focused time working on this one and see a lot of progress on it. It's still got a long, long way to go, don't get me wrong, but at least I feel like I've put in some solid time working on it, and I really enjoyed working on it. All right. Next up in my categories is the seasonal category. So right now I am working on winter projects. So I spent 1 day of my 3-day goal in January working on Spot of Winter, which I just showed you I completed. And then I picked up this is my next wintry project. So it's from Collection Tralala, and it's called Tableautin de Hiver. It translates to Winter Tableau. And here's the pattern. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm also at Stitching with the Waves over there. I posted when I, at my 3 days of stitching, I had about the tree and the bunny and like maybe a third or so of the pattern stitched. And I had this top ribbon stitched in red. And I was looking at it as I picked this piece up to work on it for my February stitching. And I decided I wanted to add a little bit of blue. Surprise, surprise. It was looking very red and green and Christmassy to me. And I want this piece to be out during the winter. Like, it's a piece I want to be able to put out after Christmas is over and have out in like January, February, Valentine's Day. It's got a heart hanging from the moon. It's got the little lovebirds down here in the corner. So it's kind of love Valentine's-ish as well to the theme. And so I wanted to just add some blue in so it's a little more wintry and less Christmassy. So I did that. I started off with taking out that red at the top. So this piece I have now worked on for both my January and my February goals. This was the first piece that the wheel spun to work on in February. So there we go. I changed out the top here to a blue, and then I'm doing the bow holding the heart on the moon, and then there's another bow on the birdhouse post, and my house, instead of having red trim, I'll do a blue trimmed house for the birdhouse. So this is coming out so cute. The deer, you guys, I'm in love. It is just so precious. So there is also a spring version of this. I don't know if she's still designing the series because I think this pattern has been out for a few years. I was hoping there would be, one for each season, but I think right now there's just winter and spring. So that's it. Love this one. Love, love, love it. So I think my plan for this piece will be to use it as my February focus piece. Rather than spinning the wheel, I'll pick this up because I think I could finish it. I don't have that much left to go. I just have over here, I've started this group of mushrooms, so I have a couple of those left, and I have the birdhouse and a little bit of the white snow along the bottom. So there's not much at all. I think I could, if I pick it up as my February focus piece at the end of the month, I can totally finish it, and that'll be great to have that like seasonal category kind of done. When I start stitching winter again in December, I can start with a new piece, start fresh. So that's my plan for that one. Let's see, next piece. Oh, and I was stitching that. This is 40 count linen that I dyed myself using the mixture of taupe, pearl gray, and Kelly green. Okay, so my next category is Christmas stitching. I'm going to be working on a piece of Christmas stitching all year this year, and this pattern is from this company here, Un Croix, Le Temps de Thé, which is across the time for tea. And she doesn't name her patterns, she numbers them. So this is 1612. She has a website where you can purchase all of these. And it's just a really cute little advent calendar. So I worked on this in January, and then this is the piece that I have also picked up in February that I'm currently working on. So I worked on it yesterday, and I'll work on it for 2 more days. So I have the roof all done. And I think when I showed it to you last, in January, I worked on stitching the row with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was somewhere in there working on those. And then I also worked on 11 and 12. I was partway through 13. So when I picked it up yesterday, I had to finish the deer and the rest of that box. And then I started the little birdhouse box for day 14 yesterday as well. So that's where I'll pick it up. I'll keep going across that row. And once I complete that row, I only have, so I am birdhouse here, 14. I've got the presents for 15. Then I've got the bottom 2 rows with the front door and the trees on either side. So I'm making really good progress on this one. I'm excited about that, to get this done and framed up for next year. The stitching the roof of that one was a beast. And this one was on, oh no, I'm sorry. I messed up on my fabrics. This winter tableau is on 40 count R&R fabric, Liberty Gathering Gray. And then the advent calendar house is on the 40 count that I dyed myself using taupe, pearl gray, and Kelly green. So if I hold them up together, you can see they're pretty close to each other. They're pretty close. Like, my goal was to stitch them on the same color, and they came out really close, so I'm excited about that. Okay. There's those pieces. Next category is kind of my everyday stitching, something I would keep out all year long. And that is this Quaker ball. So I found this picture. It's stitched by hobbyart_Olga on Instagram. And she also had a YouTube video where she was showing the assembly of it. And I was able to get the designer name from there and track down the designer. She doesn't sell in the US, but she very, very kindly shared the pattern with me. So it's not available to stitch, but there are, if you Google Quaker ball patterns, there are a lot of other Quaker balls out there that you can stitch. So I dyed this fabric myself as well. It is 40 count that I just used taupe and pearl gray. And I officially have hit the halfway mark. Are they all on there? There, no, there. I've officially hit the halfway mark on this piece. So yeah, there are 3 of those. So without this hexagon here, I've got the 6 squares, which is halfway, so I have 6 more. I have 4 more hexagons to go, and then I have 3 more octagons to go. So in January, I believe I stitched these 2 in January is what I worked on. And I might have worked a little bit on that hexagon as well, but I don't remember 100%. So this one, again, making some good progress, officially halfway there. That's exciting. All right, my other one, I decided to switch up a little bit. This is A Year in Stitches from Victoria's Sampler. And you used to be able to get this pattern on their Facebook group. Now you can purchase month by month on their website. If you go to the Victoria's Sampler website, they currently have January out, and then each month this year they will be posting the pattern as the year goes on. So you can purchase it there if you're interested. And my original plan was to use this as my travel stitching piece, but they have it in their creative designs category, creative something category, where basically it means they give you the pattern and it's in color. So they have like the suggestions of colors there, but they don't have specific DMC numbers to use. You just look at the pattern at what the color is and pick something from your DMC to use or from your fancy floss to use. So as I was trying to pull colors for this and figure out what I wanted to do, I realized I really want to stitch this in my stitchy spot at home, because next to me I have my basket that has all my DMC and my other basket that has all my fancy floss in it. So when I'm working on a piece where I'm not sure what color I want to use, or I decide I don't like a color, they're just right there. And I just felt like with this piece, that's what I needed to do. I need to be sitting there. The other reason I didn't start it is my fabric didn't come. I had ordered fabric, but it was taking forever. So it did finally show up this week. So let me pull up. I have a different layout plan as well for this piece. And I saw this. This is, it was a picture that was posted of a completed piece on the Victoria Sampler Facebook group. And the stitcher's name is Beth Shunjongan. And here, let's see if it'll hide the face. It is absolutely gorgeous. Is that focusing? Yeah, I think so. She made it into a hanging. She put down the sides and on the bottom, she designed and stitched her own heart hanger pattern down there. I mean, you guys, I saw that and I was like, oh no, this is what I need to do. So I have stitched one little tiny heart hanger pincushion. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out how, like, I can look at her pattern that she did and I can say, okay, yeah, I've done that kind of stitch, I've done that kind of stitch. I've done pretty much all of these stitches that she used. I did in the little pincushion, because the pincushion was intended as a beginner project to get you going. And that was from Stephanie B, I think it was StephanieBDesigns.com. She had the tutorial. It's all still on there if you're interested in learning heart hanger. So I am going to attempt to chart up my own heart hanger situation to go on the bottom, and I'm going to stitch the layout instead of stitching them. I had a different layout in mind before, but I'm going to stitch them in this layout that how Victoria Sampler had that laid out, so that I can do something similar to this. So that's going to be a little bit more involved of a project, but I had ordered a big piece of fabric to do this piece on, so I would have extra to use because it's a color I really like, so I wanted extra for other projects. So the piece of fabric I have will be fine. It's just, it didn't come until it got here this week on like Tuesday or Wednesday. So this weekend my plan is to figure out how much fabric I need, what size, get it all cut out, and get this project set up so I can start it this month. I had kind of stitched one of my February goals during January. I went ahead at the end of January, on the last few days of January, and said, okay, I can't start a year in stitches. I want to start it, but I don't have the fabric yet. It's not here. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch a piece and count that as my February stitching on that, so that in February I have some extra days. I can work on a year in stitches for 6 days total. I can spend 3 working on the January block, 3 working on the February block, and then March I'll be ready to just continue doing my 3 days a month. So hopefully that all makes sense. In my head it did. I have some extra days shuffled around between January and February, so I can make sure I get back on track with a year in stitches and have some time spent on all of the blocks. And then when that project comes up as a focus piece for a month, I'll go back and try and complete any months that I haven't been able to complete yet, because I don't think I'll be able to complete the block in the 3 days that I have of stitching allotted to that project. Hopefully it won't come up, or I might just, if it comes up early in the year, I might just spin again and wait until the end of the year to be picking this up as a focus piece, so I can go back and really try and get all the months completed and finish that project in 2022. Okay, next project is my family or heirloom category. So right now I am working on these pieces for my 2 daughters. So it's kind of a Mother's Tree band sampler. I designed a band sampler from Antique Patterns and antique alphabets, and then I charted, did our genealogical research and charted the names of all of our maternal ancestors going back to 1782. So I've got 2 of these to make, 1 for each of my daughters. So in January, I took my 3-day goal, split it in half. I spent a day and a half just getting each of them started, putting in some stitches on them. And this is the one that I started for my older daughter. And then I have a day and a half of stitching on this one, and then I also joined Carla's Zoom call, Carla being Crafty on YouTube, or Carla with a K on Instagram. She has been doing monthly Zooms, which is a lot of fun to just get on and chat with some different people who are doing their stitching. It's nice. I don't have a in-person stitching group that I attend here in my area, so it's just nice to get online and chat with some stitchers once a month. So this is my progress on that. While I was on the call, I did this bottom band here because it's very, small, repetitive, just the 2 colors. So I was able to get that far on the band during the hour I was able to be on the call. And the rest of the stitching up top was what I stitched in a day and a half. So I have a good little start in on this one. So then I said at the end of January, I stitched on another project so I could get ahead. So I decided to pick up this project again and work on it. So this has had the day and a half in January and all of its February stitching done as well. So I worked on this the 3 days for February. In addition, this is for my younger daughter, and I was able to get the whole top section in. So I've got that top band and the uppercase, lowercase alphabet, the numbers, and the 2 side corner motifs in there. So I was super happy to get so far on this one. This was fantastic. It moved along really quickly, which was exciting. So I wasn't sure how long this piece was going to take me to stitch, but I'm really happy that, you know, in, what is this, 4.5 days of stitching, I got this much in. That's really awesome. So, next month, March, when I'm ready to pick this up for my next time to work on it, I will pick up my older daughter's piece that has less stitching in it. I'll work on that for 3 days. Then the next month in April, whichever one has less stitching on it, I'll pick that up and work on it for 3 days. And hopefully that'll mean that I end up alternating back and forth and keeping the pieces worked at the same rate. So we'll see how that goes. And those are both being stitched on 40 count, oh yeah, that's 40 count R&R weathered shingle. All right, next up is my Petty Point project. And this is a pattern from Antique Pattern Library. They're all the patterns there are available for free. And this is just a little floral motif. This is a huge piece of silk gauze, 40 count silk gauze that I'm stitching on because I'm going to stitch several projects on it at once. There we go. That's my start. It is, I think, about halfway done. I've got another, ooh, I keep bumping the camera, guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hold on, let's get things centered back up here. Okay, try not to bump this time. There is another flower that goes in down here in this corner and a little bit more stitching, I think another leaf that goes up here. And once I get the one in up top, I'll start filling in the background from the top so that I don't have it all left for the very end. But the colors in this are gorgeous. I think I counted, there were like 30 something colors, 40 something colors in this piece. And they are so bright and vibrant. They're just so much fun to stitch with. And I just love it. It is coming out so pretty. Okay, that's my Petty Point project currently. One more project to go that I worked on, and that is my new travel stitching project. So I haven't shown you this one before. Did I bump that camera again when I was looking? Guys, oh my gosh. Okay. This is from another Facebook group, and it is called, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's Dutch, I believe. Ranjes. It's Edges. R-A-N-D-J-E-S, I believe is how you spell it. I'll put a link to the Facebook group below. And it was, they're stitch along for 2021. So they do still have most of the edges there. I think some of the beginning edges, they've started to delete, but they are still adding more. They're up in the 60s now. They usually add one per week. And here we go. This is what it looks like. They've stitched it in 2 colors, which I am also doing 2 colors. So I just have, this is 40 count R&R weathered shingle. No, this is, yeah, 40 count R&R weathered shingle. I just cut a narrow strip and I will do some sort of edging on it, probably a heart hanger edging just to finish it off. And the little leaf motif at the top, I charted 2022 instead of 2021. And I have that first band done and I'm getting started on the second. So this will be my car stitching project whenever I'm stitching, not in my stitchy spot at home, basically. This will be the piece that I work on. So I think that's going to be really easy. I just picked 2 DMC colors and tossed a skein of each in the bag along with everything I need for stitching. So hopefully that will be a lot easier to work on than a year in stitches with all these different colors and everything like that. I think that'll just be really simple, pull it out and get going on it. So those are my whips, that's my progress. I'm hoping to make it back here more often, but best laid plans and all. So we'll see how that goes. I hope you enjoyed seeing all those projects. I do have a couple of, let's do my little quilty haul here first. I found a new Flosstuber. Her name is Macy, and her Flosstube, Instagram, and Etsy shop are all called A Quaint Rose Stitches. And I found her through Kim, the Contented Stitcher. She had shown this absolutely gorgeous bird It's called Mary Amelia's Bird. And down here's the name, Mary Amelia's Bird. And then a Quaint Rose Stitches, there's her shop name up there. It is just gorgeous. And she has the antique sampler, and then she charted this up from that sampler, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous bird. I'm considering stitching this in penny point. It would be a little bit too big. I think it would be 3 inches round if I stitched it on 40 count. And 3 inches would be a little bit too big. That would be like a 3 foot in real life design. So I have some silk gauze that is higher count. I'm considering trying one of those. I've never tried one before. Maybe I'll try this piece on that. I don't know. We'll see. But it is gorgeous. I just love it. Whether I stitch it on, 40 count fabric over 2 or silk gauze over 1, we'll see. But it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. You should check her out. She's got in her Etsy shop 1 or 2 other reproduction samplers that she owns the original samplers and is charting them, and I think she has one original design in there as well, which is also beautiful. So go and check her out. Her stuff is beautiful. She also has on her gum spring page, which I found the link to on her Instagram profile. She has a link to her gum spring page. Let me fold this in half so you don't see the chart. She has this cute little, it's called Sunflower Village, little freebie. So you can go get it on Gumspring for free. Download it there. My plan is to probably stitch it on a band to go around a candle. And it'd be a little bit long. So I'm going to decide, I think if I take off either this house or this house over here. So I just got to figure out which way I want to stitch it. I think I'll probably take off that house because these two are the same. So I'd probably take off this house and maybe this flower, something like that. So I just think it's adorable with the sunflowers and the pumpkins, and a perfect little fall band to go around a candle. So that was really cute. So go check out Macy. I think she's got 7 or 8 floss tubes now, and it's a lot of fun to see all her gorgeous stuff. All right, quilting real fast. I have 2 things. First up is a pillow top I am trying to make just to go on my living room sofa. I had some extra squares from, what was this, Tranquility by, what was it? I think it's Moda. Oh, sorry guys. I forget the fabric I'm using, but I had some extra, I bought a charm pack and had made a quilt for my sofa out of it that I use every day, and I wanted to make some pillow covers as well from the charm squares that were left. So I've got this guy. I need to add some borders to it and an envelope back, get it quilted up. So that's got to happen really soon because my older daughter is wanting me to start her quilt. We've been waiting and waiting. She had picked out a pattern and then she had picked out fabric, but it wasn't available yet. Supply chain issues. So it finally came. So this is it here. And it is, here's the paper, porcelain from Andover Fabrics. And let's see if I can, how do people do this? I don't know. I got a half-yard bundle, is that what I did? Yeah, I ended up getting the half-yard bundle because I'm going to be changing the pattern up a little bit, and I am hoping this is enough. My plan is to use the Cuddle fabric, that really soft backing fabric. I did that for my younger daughter's quilt, and we all love that one so much. Everybody wants to snuggle with that one. So that's my plan for this quilt as well. So love these blues, and I will be getting that started as soon as I get this pillow done. So I think that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the update, and it was good to see all of you again. I love getting comments from everybody. I really appreciate that when you take the time to say hello so I can see who's out there, who's watching. If you have a Flosstube or if you have an Instagram, please also leave that in the comments so that I can make sure I'm following along with you. I enjoy showing you all my projects, but I also want to see your stuff that you're doing. So if you have a place on social media where you post your things, please, in your comment, share that with me so I can make sure that I'm following the people who are following me and interacting with you guys more. I hope you all are having a great February, and I will see you again soon. Bye.